going to learn about we are going to learn about Shodasa Samskarams. So starting before the starting, we are uh, showing our gratitude to the motherland Bharata Mata by the Vande Mataram by Venugopal garu.
ధన్యవాదాలు. సర్వేభ్యో నమస్కారः. వందే మాతరం, వందే మాతరం, సుజలాం సుఫలాం మలయజ శీతలాం సస్యశ్యామలాం మాతరం వందే మాతరం. సుప్రజోత్స్నా పులకితయామిని పుల్లకుసుమిత ద్రుమదళ శోభిని సుహాసిని సుమధుర భాషిణి సుఖదాం వరదాం మాతరం వందే మాతరం. కోటి కోటి కంఠ కలకల నినాద कराले कोटि कोटि बुझै द्रुत खर करवाले अबला के नो माय तो बले बहुबल धारिणी नमामि तारिणी रिपुदल वारिणी मातरम वंदे मातरम. तुमि विद्या तुमि धर्म तुमि हृदि तुमि मर्म त्वं हि प्राणाः शरीरे बाहुते तुमि मा शक्ति हृदये तुमि मा भक्ति. तोमारै प्रतिमा गढ़ी मंदिरे मंदिरे वंदे मातरम. त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी कमला कमलदल विहारिणी वाणी विद्यादायिनी नमामि त्वां नमामि कमलाम् अमलाम् अतुलां सुजलां सुफलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम्. श्यामलां सरलां सुष्मितां भूषितां धरणीं भरणीं मातरं वन्दे मातरम्. भारत माता की जय.
Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki Jai. Dhanyawad Mahodaya. Now I am requesting Mr. Sri Narasimhamurthy garu to chant the Prarthana slokas before the session starting.
1 minute meditation and 3 times Omkaram. Oh. Oh. ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनाम् उपमस्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्रवतु। ॐ श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवम् उपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्य देवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Dhanyawad Mahodaya. And then today we are having a great session with the Shodasa Samskarams by Visalakshi Madam. So I am requesting Mr. Venkatnarayan Garu to introduce our resource person, Madam Visalakshi Garu.
Sarvebhyo Namaskaraha. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. T. Visalakshi Garu. She is the Visishta Matramurti Bridankita Vidyavetri Adhyatmika Vetri. She is an MA in philosophy as well as Sanskrit. She obtained her MPhil degree on the Mahavakyam Tattvamasi. She did research on the subject, the concept of Mahavakyas in Upanishads, and obtained a PhD degree. She also passed Visharad in Hindi of Dakshina Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha. She is a retired professor in Sanskrit, Samskrita Karyakatri. She is our VSS, that is Veda Samskriti's Vice President, Sanatan Dharma, Course Associate Director, SD Courses, Senior Sub-Editor, Member of Boss for Vedavani e-Journal. She appears on TV shows and you would have seen a lot of speeches. She covers a lot of spiritual topics, including Upanishads. So she is a live wire, and to me, she is none but Vagdevi. With this introduction, I request Madam T. Visalakshi Garu to start the webinar, please.
ధన్యవాదాలు. ఓం శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ పార్వతీ రాజరాజేశ్వరాభ్యాం నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మేధా దక్షిణామూర్తయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మహాసరస్వత్యై నమః. ఓం శివాయ గురవే నమః. ఓం నమః శివాయై చ నమః శివాయ. ఓం నమః శివాయ. సర్వేభ్యో స్వాగతం. శుభ సాయంత్రం. This is our IKS course. This IKS course is a little different in content to our Sanatana Dharma 4 months Sanatana Dharma certificate course. Here till now you have studied about IKS origin, evolution, Indian astrology, mathematics, then chemistry, Ayurveda, traditional agriculture, and Rajaniti, political science, and Sanskritam also, I think. So all these subjects can be studied only when we purify ourselves with the sacraments given to us by our Maharshis and become healthy physically, mentally, spiritually, and socially also. For this, we must know about Shodasa Samskarams and we must practice them. So the Shodasa Samskaras means the 16 sacraments. They are very important milestones in a person's life. Just from entering into the womb of the mother, that is conceivement, as we say, conception, till death. So they are like roadmap to help us navigate life's journey, covering physical, mental, spiritual, social growth of all individuals. Benefits of these Shoda Sanskarams are they purify and sanctify us, the individuals. They mark important life transitions. They instill values and responsibilities to us. And they connect us with cultural heritage, ensure spiritual growth in all of us, and they unite all the Bharatiyas from different parts of our motherland. So we must follow Shoda Samskaras to honor our customs, traditions, develop sense of identity, cultivate spiritual awareness, and seek the blessings and guidance from elders and Paramatmas, Bhagavan, God also. So there are 48 or 40 samskaras according to different sages. Chatvarinchit samskara says Gautama Maharshi means 40. Out of them, all of us are following only Shodasa 16 samskaras. Even among these 16, there are differences, slight changes also. Some consider 4 Veda Vratas as one samskara, whereas some others consider each as one samskara, 4 different. Some do not consider Nishkramana as the samskara, but we take some Nishkramana and also Keshanta or Godana. Some Maharshis they did not mention, but in some Maharshis Shoda Samskaras we see that. So we will know a little about that. But consider Vanaprastha and Sannyasa ashramas as the samskaras in place of Nishkaramana and Keshanta. Mostly all of us follow Apastamba Gruhya Sutras. The 16 samskaras we are following now are Garbhadhana, Pumsavana, Srimanta, Jatakarma, Namakarana, Nishkramana, Annaprasana, Chudakarma. Chudakarma means removing the hair at the time of birth, which has come to the individual on the head. Then Karnavetha, ear piercing. Then Aksharabhyasa, Upanayana, Samavartana, Keshanta, Vedavrata, Vivaha, and Antyeshti Samskaras. Actually, to know in detail about all these samskaras, it takes several months, in fact, or at least several hours and days. Normally in our Sanatan Dharma courses, 8 periods are given to me, but here only within 2 classes I have to cover. So what I'm thinking is I will tell very shortly, briefly, 13 samskaras today, keeping Upanayana, Samavartana and Vivaha samskara for tomorrow, because they are most important. I want to tell the inner meanings of those samskaras. So 13 I will try to complete today. Very briefly, very shortly. So, to know the inner meanings of all these mantras, especially of Upanayana and Vivaha, it itself takes 5, 6, 7, 8 hours also. But now in just 2 days, 1 hour, 15 minutes time, I think it is left now. So, very briefly, I will try to introduce these Shodasa Samskaras. Later, all of you can study yourself in detail. They are all there in all the Dharma Shastra Granthas. They have been translated also. and you can get benefited. If you are interested, you can listen to our Veda Sanskrit Samiti webinars also, where I gave very detailed lectures in Telugu especially. Actually, what is meant by samskara? The word samskaram is formed from the root kru, to do, with upasarga sama, samyak, good, we say. Samyak karanam eva samskaranam, purifying, purification. These samskaras remove sins and defects that exist in the body, in the chitta, in the vasanas that are coming since several births to us. So the chitta would be purified, the jiva would be purified. The word samskara appears in Rigveda mantras, it is there in Jaimini, Purva Mimamsa sutras, and later it is seen in all Gruhya sutras of all Maharshis, like Apastamba Gruhya sutras, Gautama Gruhya sutras, like that. Out of 84 lakhs of living beings, these samskaras are done only to us human beings, because only human beings can aim at liberation and get moksha, leading a very cultured and dignified, happy life here on earth. We know Jantunam Narajanma Durlapamata Pumsvantato Vipratat and all. So actually, what is samskara? How to do it? Now you can know, just as a copper bowl or brass glass or plate is there, to clean that, what we do, we clean it with turmeric mixed with salt, then rubbing with the scrubber nowadays with Sabina, in the olden days with brick powder, etc. And make shining with glow. Similarly, the jivas, human beings are purified with sacraments, with the mantras, chanting of mantras, from even before they enter into the womb of the mother, and then take birth, grow, and finally when they leave the body, the elder son and all the sons together, they perform ancheshti samskara. So in all these samskaras, shastriyata, vaijnanikata are mixed with spiritual well-being of individuals. Besides these 16 samskaras, there are several other samskaras, because 48 are there. Panchamaha yajnas, which we are doing every day, which is our duty, they are considered as samskaras. Maharshis speak about Sapta Soma samskaras, Sapta Haviri yajnas, Sapta Paka yajnas, etc. as samskaras. Sri Haradattacharya called Shodasa samskaras as Paka Yajna samskaras. Paka Yajna means precious, excellent. Harita Smriti says samskaraha dvivithaha, brahmaha tatha cha haritaha. Dvivitho hi samskaro bhavati, brahmo daivascha Paka Yajnaha. Somayagadayaha daiva samskaraha, garbhathanadayaha brahma samskaraha. Out of Shodasa samskaras, the first 3 are called as prenatal samskaras, performed by the parents of the mother and father of the child going to take birth. That is the parents of Vara and Vathu after the marriage. Now 4th to 15th samskaras, 12 samskaras, are done by the parents of the child. Later samskara would be done, the last one, ancheshti, would be done by the children, sons. Thus these Shoda samskaras are done to the jiva by the people of 3 generations. By these Shoda samskaras, the jiva shines like full moon on full moon day, just as the moon shines with Shodasa kalas. Human beings, we also shine with 16 kalas. Now, first samskara is Garbhathana samskara. According to our Sanatana Dharma, we get married to get children only. Prejaye Gruhamethinam, we say, to keep up the dynasty, to become free from Pitru Runa, from the debt of departed parents, people, and our elders, forefathers, 3 generations we offer. So the ritual done to purify the womb of the mother allowing a very pious jiva to enter and grow in such a fertile form is called as Garbhadhana Samskara. The sacrament of purifying the womb with most powerful mantras, Putrakameshti mantras, which are there in Atharvana Veda and some other places also, to bless the couple with the mantras. Then actually Taittiriya Upanishad described the union of wife and husband to give birth to a child as Mahasamhita. Then second one, Pumsavana. Pumsavana Samskara is performed only once for the first pregnancy. For the first time when the girl gets a pregnancy, to make the Garbhastha Pinda, the fetus, to turn into a male child, Pumsavana Samskara would be performed. Because we used to believe in the olden days especially, the son must take birth first to take care of the family, because the parents can become free from the Pitru Runa, that is most important. Then this, and also when parents leave the body, it is the duty of the son to do the Autvadahika karmas. That's very important. This ritual should be performed during the first 10 days of third month of the pregnancy of that girl. On any auspicious day, the couple should perform yajna, yaga with Putrakameshti mantras of Atharvana Veda under the guidance of the priest. Now the couple must keep fasting till night, the whole day till night. During night time, they squeeze the germinated banyan seeds and the juice will be put in the nostrils of that pregnant lady. With the chanting of mantras, the mantras will have more effect than this. So the fruits of banyan trees, banyan tree means marichetu we say in our Telugu, should be mixed with the black grams, minumulu as we say, and barley, yavalu, and make her smell that. All three together must be put in a cloth, and she must smell it deeply. Then later, that must be mixed and cooked, and she must be given that to eat. That will have great power on the fetus of her. So then her fetus turns into a healthy male child, and she delivers a boy certainly. Now third one is Srimantonnayanamu, Seemantamu as we say normally. This sacrament would be performed on the 5th or 7th day, 7th month, or even during 9th month also of the pregnancy. It can be performed like a festival, inviting all the relatives, friends, neighbors and all. On an auspicious day, the couple must take holy bath, worship Ishtadevatas, Kuladevatas and all. The husband would braid his wife's hair into coils, jada as we say, combing her hair with the thorn of the hedgehog, mullapandi as we say in our Telugu, hedgehog's thorn. With that, he must draw a line from her navel straight from the body till this Sahasrara Chakra at the middle of the head. This will stimulate her nervous system and normal delivery occurs. The parents invite all the relatives, friends, decorate the pregnant woman and fill her lap with fruits, flowers. We say chalimidi, a sort of item, rice prepared with rice powder mixed with cow ghee, cow milk, jaggery and all. That is considered to be very pious and holy and healthy. So her mother and then the ladies, all of them together, they put bangles, they keep the kunkuma, then decorate her with sandal paste, turmeric paste to the legs, then put the bangles on both the hands, either 19 or 21. To each hand, one bangle extra to right hand according to our custom. So these bangles stimulate her nervous system and delivery becomes easy and normal delivery. Her mother gives Vodi Biyam, we say it for Telugu people, along with this Chalimidi. So this Srimanta Samskara is considered as the best among the 3 prenatal Samskaras. Now fourth one is Jata Karma. In Jata Karma, Jata means Janaja, to take birth. Ta prachaya is used in the sense of past tense. Jata means born and karma means work done. So the sacrament done at the time of the birth of the baby is called as Jata Karma. This is the first ritual performed by the father before and immediately after the birth of the baby, and also on the 11th day of the birth of the baby. So when the labor pains start before the birth of the baby, the father must do sankalpa and do shodasa danas or dasa danas with good sankalpa, keeping the priest or himself. As soon as the navel cord is cut, immediately the father must do sachela snana. He must, the moment he hears the news of delivery, the son is born, immediately Sachela Snana he has to take. He can see the face of the son directly, whatever may the star of the baby be. So that holy Snana with the cloths he is wearing, he must take bath according to our Shastras. Putre jate pitu snanam sachelastu vidhiyate yavanna bhidyate nalam tavan napnoti sutakam bhinne nale tata paschat sutakastu vidhiyate. This is what the Shastra says. So when the head comes out and the nose is seen, that time should be noted down as the birth time of that baby to prepare the Jataka Chakra of the baby. So on the 11th day morning, we say Puriti Snanam should be done. That is, the bath must be given to that lady Balintaralu, as we call, and that baby who is newly born, and to her mother, his mother. Then till that time, we say a sort of impurity. Impurity means Maila, we say in our language, that would be there for 10 days. Then on the 11th day, the moment they take bath, that dirtiness would leave that this mother and baby, and also all the people of that dynasty, Vamsa Nama we say. Then they automatically purify that room, house also. So after holy bath, the parents keeping their child on the lap must perform Jata Karma ritual as per the Shastra, inviting a priest. So the umbilical cord should be kept preserved, keeping in an amulet, mostly made with silver, tying to the baby's waist. So Jatamatre tu Kumarasya Mukhamapyavalokayet Runad Vimuchyate Pita Putrasya Mukha Darshanat, says the Shastra. The Jata Asaucha starts with the birth of the baby, and after 11th day when they take bath, that Jata Asaucha would vanish. So the Jata Karma should be performed to reduce the risk of swallowing the amniotic fluid water which the baby swallows, we call umaniru. So while in the womb of the mother, naturally each and every child swallows a little or something. So it should be performed for the longevity, intellect and luster of the baby, and also to protect the baby from balagrahas, a sort of evil forces. So if there is any defect in the birth star of the child, then the father must first see the reflection of the face of the child, the baby, in a bowl filled with either cow ghee or sesame seeds oil. Shanti homas and nakshatra japas and homas must be done by the Ritviks if necessary. If the birth star is Jyeshta nakshatra, suppose Jyeshta putra, then they say very big Shanti must be done, Gundala Shanti as they say. It must be done, and mostly suppose the child takes birth during Amavasya, they must give a lot of importance to all these nakshatra, japas, homas, and feeding as many as people as possible. Annadana must be done. And the Tithi Nakshatra Devata also must be worshipped to pacify her. Even otherwise also, Annadana must be done and satisfactorily danas must be given. So the priest blesses Shatamanam Bhavati Setayu Purushaka Shetendriyaha Ayushevendriye Pratitishthati, like that they bless. The blessings of the priest are like the blessings of Paramatma to us. Then the fifth samskara is Namakarana, naming ceremony, and cradle ceremony also we do at the same time on that day. It is also called as Balasare or Barasala also. Naming the child is very important for Vyavahara. Name is essential for education, doing any job, for either purchasing or selling the properties, or for doing Nitya Naimittika karmas, Yajna Yagadi, Kratus, Pitrukaryas and all. Name must be there. Along with the Gotra, we utter the name. So actually, why we name the children? Shastra says that it is for getting moksha. The parents, they name their children because they want to get liberated. How very beautiful stories are there in connection with this. However, great actions they might have done, they may be very great people. Even then, at the time of the death, mostly everyone, they want to see the face of their children. So they call their sons specially and children, girls also, with the name. So if the names are of gods or deities, then automatically, even though they call their children, they are uttering the names of Paramatma. So after leaving the body, they may go to the divine lokas of those respective gods. Because Sri Krishna Paramatma said in Gita, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyejantyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. So thinking of whomever one leaves the body would get the next birth accordingly, according to that idea of the mind and the words that come out of the mouth of the person. We know the story of Jadabharata, who has actually, he must have got liberated during that birth only, but because he developed a sort of affection and love towards the small deer which is born, and after the birth of that deer baby, the mother dies. So he took care of that and he developed moha on that. So at the time of his death, he was very much worried about that Jinkapilla, as we say, the deer. So next birth, he was born as the deer. But because of his austerities, penance and all, he could remember his past birth. So he never mingled and moved with even the deer also. He spent like a sage during that birth, and next birth, he was born in a Brahmin family and he got liberated. So so many stories are there. Now we should know how this method of naming has come and who named whom first, for the first time. Actually, Vedamata called Parabrahman as Parabrahman. Para means beyond. Brahman means Brumka Vistarane, that which pervades the whole universe. So, Vedamata named Parabrahman. So that is the naming process for the first time. Prajapati Chaturmukha Brahmadeva, he started to do his work of creation. A sort of superpower appeared in front of him. While watching, when he was just watching, that power divided itself into 8 parts. And God Brahma named all those 8 forms with 8 names. That is naming ceremony. As Rudra, Sharva, Pasupati, Ugra, Ashati, Bhava, Mahadeva, and Ishana. These are all the names of 8 original Shivarupas, original octaves, we say. Names bring good fortune to all living beings. Jatanantarameva namakaranam ekadashatne sputam dasamyam uthitayam snatayam putrasya nama dadati. That's how the mantras continue in the Shastra. This naming ceremony can also be done on 11th day at the time of Jatakarma itself. Namakarana can be done either on 11th day or 21st day, 25th, 29th day of the first month, or on any other day according to their situation. Then they must see for an auspicious day. Dharmashastra says, Ayur Varchopivruddhischa Siddhir Vyavahurtes Tatha Nama Karma Phalantvetat Samuttishtam Manishipihi. We perform Namakarana Mahotsava with the intention of getting long life, strength, vigor, luster, and metha vruddhi, methas to the child, intellect. So parents do Ishtadevata Puja, Kuladevata Puja, then father do pranamas to all those who were present there at that function at that time, saying Saphayai Namaha. Then he seeks their permission to name his son. Sapha Satpurusha Mache Nama Prakatana Sityartham Anumatim Prarthayami, like that he requests for the permission, automatically they permit. So the priests make the father of the baby write Masanama, Nakshatra Nama and Vyavahara Nama on the rice poured in silver plate, drawing 2 lines in between. So there we know that process, so I'm not explaining. So that is how the names must be written there. And the father tells those names in the right ear of the baby, keeping the baby son on his lap. Actually, each and every letter got a sort of power in all languages, especially in Sanskritam. Mantra Shakti is there. Each letter got a governing deity and a color to it. These details are given in Akshamalika Upanishad. So the names also, because they are the letters together, they got very great spiritual power which protect the child and parents also. In our Panchangam, we can see the letters with which the names have to start according to the foot of the star, the pada of the birth star, nakshatra of the baby. Masanamas and nakshatra namas are given in our Panchangams. So Vyavahara namas the parents keep. They can keep according to their will and wish, keeping the grandparents, grandfather's name also including. So for boys and girls, different masanamas are given in the Panchangam. The girls' names are Marga Sirshe Cha Vagdevi, Pushye Padmavati Tatha, Sri Devi Chapi Savitri, Bhumihi Kalyaniki Tatha, Satyabhama Punyavati, Rupavati, Indumatyapi, Chandravati Cha Lakshmi Cha Strinama Karaneshu Cha. These are the names of girls. Then for boys, the names are Krishnaha, Anantaha, Achyutaha, Chakri, Vaikunthaka, Atha Janardanaha, Upendro, Yajna Purusho, Vasudevas, Tatha, Harihi, Yogisaha, Pundarikaksho, Masanaman Yanukramat. These are the 12 names for 12 months. So the procedure of Namakarana Mahotsava is known by all of us, of course, doing after Nitya Puja, Sandhya Vandana, etc. The father and mother must worship fire god first, and then all other gods according to the instructions of the priest whom we invite and keep as Brahmagaru for us at that time. While keeping the name of the child, the father must say like this, uttering the Masanama, Masanama Dhrutva Setayishman Phava Setayishmati Phava. After keeping, writing on that plate on rice, then uttering in the ear the Nakshatra Nama, the father must say, uttering that name, Nakshatra Nama Dhrutva Setayishman Phava Setayishmati Phava. Then Vyavahara Nama, he must completely repeat the entire name, whichever they keep. Vyavahara Nama Dhrutva Setayishman Phava Setayishmati Phava. Thus, the father must bless the child immediately after uttering the names. Then all the mother and other nearby relatives, grandparents and all also tell the name in the ear of the baby and bless the baby with akshatas. The priest and others bless the baby and his or her parents. After writing the names of the child in the rice of silver plate, that place must be kept on the ground. And also around that plate on 8 directions, keeping the Poka Chekkalu, we say, with akshatas, invoking the 8 forms of Parameswara as Rudra, Sharva, Pasupati, Ugra, Asati, Pava, Mahadeva and Isana. He must worship all the 8 forms of Shiva, Parameswara, with Shodasopacharas. And even the namas written on the plate also must be worshipped with Shodasa Upachara. Puja must be done. After uttering the names in the right ear of the child, the father hugs the child to his heart, uttering the mantra, Angad Angad Sambhavasi Hrudayad Abhijayase Atmavai Putra Namasi Tvam Jiva Sharadasyatam. Blesses the child to live long. Shastra says one should not tell his name or her name, one's own name, the name of his guru, wife or husband, elder son, and also the name of a miser. Atmanama Gururnama Namati Krupanasyacha Sreyaskamo na Gruhniyad Jestapatya Kalatrayo. Jestapatya means son, elder son. After this Namakarana Utsava, they keep the baby in the cradle. That cradle ceremony everyone is aware of, so I am not telling. But we must keep the child in the cradle as per the custom, so that the baby can sleep happily. Now, next samskara is Nishkramana. This Nishkramana means actually coming out. Coming out of the room is called, a house is called as Nishkramana. After staying for more than 9 months in the womb of the mother, the baby comes out and could not bear the outside atmosphere and light. So for 3 months, mostly the baby would be kept in that room only, in the bedroom normally. Never they take the baby into all the rooms also. And they never allow so many other new people also to enter that room, because the bacteria may enter. The body resistance would be very less at that time in the mother as well as in the baby also. So after 3 months, when 3 months are completed, then on the 4th month, the same tithi on which the baby is born. So on that day, the baby would be taken to Yajnashala for the first time, to take out, to expose the baby to the nature and to the light of the sun and to the atmosphere. So the parents must do yajnadi karmas, worships at the Yajnashala. They must pray Navagraha Devatas, Panchabhutas and all, etc. to get the blessings of gods, and to ward off the Bala Aristas, which are very common, and to prevent the Naradrushti doshas also. Arogyam Bhaskara Dikchet, we say. So sun gives good health, luster, wisdom, long life, and jnana. That is most important. So there the parents must do annadana after this yajna prakriya is over. In the evening, the baby must be taken to any garden, to the midst of green plants, greenery and flowers. This is Nishkramana Samskara in short. Now 7th one is Annaprasana Samskara. This sacrament is to be celebrated like a festival. Annaprasana is very important. In fact, in one sense, this samskara is very important, because other than mother's milk, something would be started to feed. The child would be beginning to eat something made with rice, which is the source for the livelihood, the prana shakti to any living beings. So without doing Annaprasana Samskara, according to Shastrokta Vidhi Vidhana, the children should not be given to swallow anything other than mother's milk. But if necessary, cow milk can be given if mother's milk is not sufficient. This Annaprasana Samskara should be performed on the 6th day of the 6th month of the birth of the baby, with the Sankalpa, Sada Mrishtanna Praptyartham Sarva Kamyartha Siddhyartham Annaprasana Karma Karishye. The Yajna Prasada or Havishya Anna, which is offered to the god at the time of doing Yajna, that should be cooked once again with the milk, cow milk, mixed with jaggery and honey, should be kept in a silver bowl. That should be like juice. not like even paste of the rice. So after offering that juicy food to Ishtadevatas, Kuladevatas, to Surya Bhagavan, Agnihotra and all, then that must be given to the baby for the first time. The baby must be fed with that. So that prasada anna must be like thick juice, so that the baby can swallow it immediately the moment it is kept on the tongue of the baby. So either the father or the maternal uncle, Menamama as we say, should first feed the baby 4 times, uttering the mantras along with the priest. The mantras are Om Bhurapam Tvoshatheenagum Tadrasam Prashayami. Om Bhuvarapam Tvoshatheenagum Tadrasam Prashayami. Om Suvarapam Tvoshatheenagum Tadrasam Prashayami. Om Bhurphuvaswarapam Tvoshatheenagum Rasam Prashayami. So with these mantras, the baby must be kept a sort of, she must be allowed to eat that rice. In a Dharmashastra Grantha called Kalamrita, it is said, Annaprasana Marphakasya Supadam Masyeva Yugme Shuphe Shashtathavatha Panchamadi Divase Mase Vathunam Gruhe. Annaprasana ceremony should be done in the house of baby's maternal grandmother, that is mother's mother, Ammamma's Illu we say. So Annaprasana Samskara must be done on the 6th day of 6th month of the baby. If it could not be done on that day, then seeing any auspicious day, it can be performed. At the time of Annaprasana, in the Sankalpa, the father must say, Garphamalambupana dosha nivrutyartham, for the removal of the defect of drinking the dirty water of the womb. At Jatakarma during Annaprasana 2 times, they do this samskara of removing the dirty water swallowed by the baby. While doing Annaprasana, everyone follow their own traditions and customs as per their Maharshi say that Bodhayana, Rasvalayana, Hiranyakesi, like that. In Apastamba Gruhya Sutras, it is like this. Dathi Mathu Ghrutodhanam. The rice mixed with curd, honey and cow ghee must be given for the first time. Krutena varthate buddhihi ayur ghrutam we say. So by the cow ghee, the span of life increases, the intellect grows. The curd, honey and cow ghee got medicinal values. They remove the vata, pitta, kapha, doshas of the body. And that so the span of life would be increased. Parasara Maharshi, in his Smriti Grantha, he said Kshirodhanam, the rice cooked with cow milk, mixed with cow ghee and honey, it is to be used. After Annaprasana also, the mother's milk must be the primary food to the baby. As long as the mother gets the milk, she must feed the child minimum till crossing 1 year, and after that also, if by God's grace the milk comes. So slowly this after Annaprasana, this rice item, it must be introduced and increased little by little every day, month by month to that baby. First in liquid form till the teeth come. Then only a sort of rice can be fed to her. Taittiriya Upanishad says, Annadeva khalvimani bhutani jayante, Annadeva jatani jivanti, Annam prayanti abhisamvishanti, Annam brahmeti vyajanat. All living beings are taking birth and are being sustained by Annam, food only. Pranova Annam, Shariram Annadam, Prane Shariram Pratitishthati, Pratishtitam. Tasmad Annam na ninjat tadvratam, Annam bahukurvita tadvratam, Annam na parichikshita tadvratam. So we honor the food with so much reverence. Thus Anna is being praised by the Upanishad. At the time of taking food, we always pray Goddess Annapurna Devi. Annapurne Sadapurne Shankara Pranavallape Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhiksham Dehi Cha Parvati. Goddess Annapurna Devi must give us Jnana and Vairagya, knowledge and detachment. due to which we can get liberation. After Annaprasana process is over, the parents and relatives arrange a sort of a sort of exhibition. Items useful in life they keep at a place, keep the baby at a little distance, and make the baby come to those items crawling and touch any item. Whichever item the baby touches, their parents, they feel that that baby would in future become either engineer or doctor or anything if the girl takes either flowers or turmeric, kunkuma and all, then they know that this baby would live lifelong with her, and Saubhagya we say, with her husband. So it is called as Vastu Pradarshana Utsava, a sort of entertainment program we can say. Now 8th samskara is Chuda Karma or Chaula Samskara, to remove the hair of the head that came by birth at the time of the baby. Chuda Karma Samskara is the ritual of removing the hair that came to the baby at the time of the birth, because that the previous birth's vasanas, as we see, the vasanas would be lingering. They would be staying in that hair only of the baby. That is why till that hair is removed, the babies, they remember their previous birth. So this samskara should be done either within 1 year or during 3rd year to the baby also. This hair removal ceremony must be celebrated to both girls and boys compulsorily. Even to the girls we must do. Completely remove the hair for the first time. Then onwards in the life, never the girl babies, never the girls can cut the hair. The boys, of course, they cut and the hair grows again. Keshanta Samskara. So God gave us the most precious body. All body parts and all sense organs, they are all very precious, very useful, very great, except the hair on the head, which soaked in the waters in the mother's womb. They became very dirty, so that dirt cannot be cleaned just by taking head baths or even by any mantras also. So, because the vasanas of previous births and memories, they would be lingering to the hair must be completely removed. So, mostly all of us Telugu people, we do this at Tirumala and offer those hair to Goddess Venkateswara Swami. They can mostly all the people, all our Sanatana Dharma Anuyayis, they celebrate this at the place, any temple, any pious place, and at the house also they can do if they want. The scriptures say, Janmanoti Tritiye Varshe Chaulam Punarvasyoh. Shastras and Upanishads also said that Paramatma enters into the body through Brahmaranthra, a sort of head on the middle top of the head, and from there the Paramatma enters. That is why the place here would be like hollow and it is very soft, and when we touch it we can experience that, and that would be seen also. So that is very soft, so people should be very careful while touching that part also. If they remove the hair during first year only, suppose mostly it takes 1 year's time for that hollow to get full filled, and then fully it becomes strong. So after 10th month or some during that time, mostly they do this if they want to do before 1 year, or during 3rd year also. Suppose the mother is carrying, then during the 3rd year of the first baby and during the 1st year of the 2nd baby, they can celebrate, or separately also they can do. So Susruta Samhita, Charaka Samhita, they say that by this Chaula Karma, the longevity and beauty will increase to the baby. That is why it is called as Ayush Karma. There are scientific and health aspects also behind wearing a crown, shikha, we say, at the back of the head. So after birth hair is removed, when the hair grows, then the girls, they started to get these jadas matted and all. Then the boys, of course, they periodically, though they remove the hair, at the back part, they must leave the hair without cutting. So that is called as a sort of pilaka, we say in our Telugu, the long hair, it must, the place where medulla oblongata, we say Muchikalagunta, that is a sort of that medulla oblongata plays very good important role in keeping the brain function properly. So the hair protects that part of the body. So that protects the health of the brain and also the baby also. So those who wear shikha, the boys, they would attain spiritual growth and prosperity very successfully. Now, ninth samskara is Karnavetha or ear piercing samskara. Shastra says that the ear piercing samskara should be done for both the girls and boys. It is for the protection and also for decoration. Rakshanartham, Aparanartham cha. However, the girl should get their ears as well as the nose also should be pierced. So girls must wear ear ornaments and also nose ornament called as mukkera, we call, which protects the health and longevity of her and her husband also. If she wears mukkera and earrings, her husband's longevity would increase. So many poems are there in connection with it and stories are there. Janani Tava Tatanka Mahima, we say Parameswara, though he swallowed Halakala, he was intact with full health. It is due to the Tatankas, the earrings, the Mother Parvati goddess is wearing. So the ear piercing can be done for girls mostly during 3rd year, but it can be done during 1st year also, because then onwards a sort of ear ornaments can be kept to her. So normally it would be done with a golden string, and that remains for few months or maybe for 1 or 2 years also. And later beautiful small ear ornaments, lolakulu as we say, the hangings and all can be decorated to her ears, which look very beautiful. So with the ear ornaments, the face looks handsome. The nose piercing also can be done either during 5th year or 6th year or before 10 years also we can do. Many diseases can be prevented by these samskaras. Even for the boys at the age of 5th year, the ears can be pierced. Mostly at the time of Upanayana also, they do this. Even before that, it should be done. Then onwards, they must wear, the boys also must wear ear ornaments, either with gold or with a diamond or pearl or whatever may it be, any stone. When the sunlight falls through the holes of the ears, it would prevent the disease called as antravritti, hernia we say. Mostly it is common for men to get hernia and hydrocele, and then they get operated for this. So if they wear the ear ornaments, they will not get. Mostly this hernia problem comes for male only and not for women, ladies, because ladies, the girls wear the ear ornaments. Devala Maharshi said that it is sin to see the face of a Brahmin without his ears pierced. In the olden days, both men and women used to wear ear ornaments, so they never suffered with hernia, such diseases. But due to foreign rule of, and also due to different social customs and all, now gradually men they stopped wearing ear ornaments and this ear piercing also. So they are getting these diseases. Foreigners also nowadays, they are wearing ear ornaments, though unknowingly they are doing just for decoration to wear the ornaments. Even then they are enjoying the health also. So the ear ornaments and nose ornament of women are considered to be one of Pancha Mangalya Dravyas or Mangala Chiknas, we say, the signs of auspiciousness. The same I say, Jagadguru Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada says the reason why Shiva is intact even after taking Hala is Janani Tava Tatanka Mahima and all. So the Sindura, a sort of red Sindura, which is kept at the parting of the hair, at the papita, as we say. And this and the tilakam they keep on the forehead. Then the Mangala Sutras we say, and the black beads that we wear, and also the ear ornaments, and then the mattelu we say to the feet, the second finger of both the feet. All these are considered to be Mangalya Chihnas, Pancha Mangalya Chihnas we say. By wearing them, their husbands will be with sound health and live for long time. If the girls are their nose pierced and wear mukkera, then at the time of marriage, no problem comes to them. Shastra says that if any girl's nose is not pierced and her marriage is occurring, then what the Shastra says is, when the Vara comes to tie the Mangala Sutras over her neck, then she must slowly take the breath and held it, and slowly when that boy, Vara, he ties and completely keeps the 3 knots, decorates them with the haldi, kunkuma and all. Then when he moves from that place, then this girl should leave the breath slowly. So thus till that time she must take slowly the breath and she must hold it without leaving. Because Shastra says that without the mukkera, if that the wind that comes, the air, uchvasa, nisvasas, the wind that comes from the nose of the nostrils of the girl touch the hands of the Vara, her husband, that's not good for him. So to prevent that defect, she must take slowly when he comes there to, that is approaches her, slowly she must take breath and held it as long as he is tying and then slowly leave it, nishvasa. So this is what is given in the Shastras only. So this is what Shastra says. Actually, the Ida, Pingala and Sushumna, the nerves, there are lakhs of nerves in our body. 1,000 nerves are 70,000 nerves are in one sense very great. Then 1,000 nerves, then 101 as given in Prasna Upanishad, and out of 101, 3 nadis. They are very important. All these ear ornaments and nose ornaments, they stimulate and give power and shakti to all these nerves, nervous system. These 3 nerves also would get more powerful. So the nasal piercing prevents germs to enter through the nose into the body. It corrects the nervous system and makes the brain and the body function properly. Now 10th one is Aksharabhyasa Samskara. It's very important samskara for all human beings. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajepir Vajini Vati Dhinam Avitriyavatu Om Sri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Aksharabhyasa means to practice letters, to learn how to read and to write. Akshara. Kshara means perishable. Akshara means imperishable, non-destroyable. The ultimate goal of human life is to get moksha, to know about imperishable Brahman in this perishable world. So, how to know it? By Sravana, Manana and Nidichyasana. So, for this it is important to listen, to read and to write the letters, to utter the letters properly, to write them correctly. So for this, the parents, the father, keeping his son or daughter on his lap, after writing the mantras, mantraksharas, O Namaha, Sivayaka, Sitham Namaha. This is how we write mostly. At some different places, UP and all letters may be little different. So on one side of a particular slate, the father writes these letters, and on the other side, Shri would be written mostly by all of us. Then after proper worshipping all, starting with Vinayaka, worshipping all the gods, goddesses and all, and Saraswati Mata, the father holding the hand of the fingers of the baby, makes the girl or boy write on that slate on the letters which he has written, that O Namaha Sivayaha Siddham Namaha. So all the letters from A to Ksha are the forms of goddess Saraswati Devi only. Vidya Adhisthana Devata Saraswati Mata. To start to worship her is Akshara Pyasa. To get initiated this worship to letters, to know the Tattvartha, Tatvikartha also of the letters is Akshara Apyasa. So it is Parameswara from whom this knowledge is given to Saraswati Mata, and she is made as Adhisthana Devata of Vidyas. Ishana Sarva Vidyanam, Iswara Sarva Bhutanam, Brahmadhipatir, Brahmanodhipatir, Brahma Shivo me Astu Sada Shivom, we say. So at the time of Aksharabhyasa itself, our Maharshis made it a custom to initiate the Siddha Mantra, Shadakshari Mahamantra, or Panchakshari Mahamantra as we say. That is Om Namah Shivaya. Because it is Siddha Mantra we can utter. Otherwise, with the Bijaksharas, we should never utter any mantra outside. So, though not in the same form as the mantra, changing the letters, this Siddha Mantra is given to each and every human being born by the parents. That is the greatness of our Maharshis and our Shastra. This Aksharabhyasa we call as Onamalu Diddadan, to write the letters Onama in Telugu, of course. Our Shastra, especially in Jyotish Shastra, it is like this. Udagarke Panchame Abde Panchame Masi Panchame Divase Apicha Balanam Akshara Grahanam Smrutam. Aksharabhyasa Samskara should be done on the 5th day of 5th month of 5th year. Normally, Vasanta Panchami or Panchami Tithi of any month is auspicious for Aksharabhyasa because Panchami is the Tithi of Saraswati Mata. In Brihaspati Smruti, it is said like this. Shanmasiketu Samprapte Phranti Sanjayate Yataha Thatra Aksharani Spashtani Patra Chudan Yataha Para. So for the newly born baby, nothing would be known till 6 months. Of course, the baby knows the moment the baby is born. Nowadays, they start to observe even the complete atmosphere. They respond to. Even then, mostly during after 6 months, mostly they would be completely knowing. So then onwards, the baby starts to learn listening and seeing to the parents and other members of the family, observing the surroundings till Aksharabhyasa is done. So the children, they can learn by heart slokas, poems. They can listen to the stories and know the morals. The parents and grandparents must educate the children like this till Aksharabhyasa. So we can teach the children the Shataka poems. Vemana Shataka, Sumati Shataka, Bhartrihari Niti Shataka, then Sri Krishna Shataka, Dasarathi Shataka, like, and we can teach. Whatever we teach, the children definitely they catch and they can learn by heart. We can teach them Ramayana, Bharata, Bhagavata, stories or poems, slokas and all. Stories of Sri Ramachandra, then Prahlada must be taught to them to become an ideal. Then Dhruva, Upamanyu, Shravana Kumar, Panchatantra, Hitopadesa stories, we can teach everything. Time we must spend time for developing our children with the knowledge. So after Aksharabhyasa Samskara, the children can start to read and write directly the books. So all of us are aware of the process of doing this Aksharabhyasa, starting with Ganapati Puja, then worship all the gods and goddesses. The textbooks also, Ramayana, Bharata, Bhagavata books must be worshipped, and then the slates and slate pencils. One we keep for our child, and so many slates and chalk pieces, slate pencils must be kept, and they must be distributed to the small children, whoever come to the function. So on the slate kept for our baby, we must write on one side Om Namaha, actually it is. But we change a little. Om Namaha Shivaya, we say actually. Shivaya we write. Siddham Namaha. So it must be written. Then on the other side, Sri we write mostly. Then the father must worship them, the slate and all the books, the gods, goddesses, the portraits, idols and all, which Shodasopachara puja must be done to them. The father must worship them, and after that the slate and slate pencils also, and all the letters written there, and also they must make this girl or boy, the baby, recite certain slokas, mantra slokas or stotra slokas, starting with Ganapati, then Saraswati Mata, Shiva, Parvati, Parmeshwara, and all the gods, Rama, Krishna, Vishnumurti, and all. So at the time of Akshar, Shiva means actually Ona Maha Sivayaka, we write. Shivaha means Shiva, Shiva means Parvati. So we are worshipping both Shiva and Parvati also. So at the time of Aksharabhyasa, that child is initiated into the worship of such great Siddha mantra, and also the Parvati Parameswara together, the mother and father of the whole world. We say Vagartha viva sampruptau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagatah pitarau Vande Parvati Parameswarau. We start study with the stotra slokas of Saraswati Devi. In Telugu, Talli Ninnu Dalanchi poem is there. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini, we know all this. So with such slokas, we must make the child recite. There is a very beautiful poem. Of course, all the 3.5 lines are completely Samskrita words, but only one Telugu word is there. Potana Matya wrote in Potana Bhagavatam, keeping completely the essence of all Veda Suktas of Saraswati Mata in one single poem. Even if we listen the poem, we become blessed. Sharada Dendu Khanasara Patira Marala Mallika Mar Mallika Hara Tushara Pena Rajata Chalakasa Panisha Kunda Mandara Sutha Payothi Sita Tamara Samara Vahini Supakara Tanuppu Ninnumadi Ganaga Nennadu Kalgu Bharati. So even the Rakshasa Hiranyakasipa also realized the importance of the study and sent his son Prahlada to Gurukula to study. Even the Paramatma, when takes birth as Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, they went to the Gurukulas and studied. So Aksharabhyasa Samskara is the first step to enter into the path of Gurukula, path to gain Brahma Vidya, the real Para Vidya, real knowledge. Thereby Mukti through Upanayana Samskara to the boys, and by the knowledge, by the very birth and also by the very recitation of Gauri Mantra, the women can get liberated by considering by their Pativratya, their husband, taking care of their husband fully, they can get liberated. So after celebrating Aksharabhyasa Samskara, then from the next day onwards, it is the duty of the parents. The parents must take care of the study of the child by making it a habit to get up at Brahmi Muhurta, to take bath, worship gods and goddesses, and start to study Para and Apara Vidyas, completely gain knowledge. Jnana Devatu Kaivalyam. So by the knowledge we can get moksha, the final aim of our life. After this, actually, we must know about Upanayana Samskara, then Samavartana Samskara, etc. But because we got very limited time, of course, this is the first time I'm telling all these in a very brief and short manner. Normally, I used to take hours to get time to teach all these samskaras. So now I want to explain briefly the Keshanta Samskara for boys, Rajaswala Samskara for the girls, very briefly. And also Veda Vratas, the 14th Samskara in fact. Then 16th Samskara Antyeshti, also I will cover today. So that tomorrow we will start the Upanayana Samskara, proceed with Samavartana Samskara, then end with Vivaha Samskara. Actually, Samavartana Samskara also tomorrow I will tell very shortly. Normally, I used to tell completely taking the 11th Anuvaka of Taittiriya Upanishad Sikshavalli. taking a very big, so many mantras. If time is there tomorrow, just I will decide. Even if you listen, that would be very graceful to you, and you can understand the meanings also. That I used to explain elaborately, but I will not now. Only in 1 or 2 lines tomorrow I will explain that. And Upanayana, I'll concentrate mainly on the inner meanings and importance, greatness of Upanayana and Vivaha Samskara. So now we will start Keshanta Samskara. So this Samskara is according to, normally it is 13th Samskara. 13th A is Keshanta Samskara. It is called as Godana Samskara for boys. Then Rajaswala Samskara for girls, 13th B, I say. So this Keshanta Samskara, it is traditional custom to celebrate this Keshanta Samskara to the boys at the age of in between 16, 17. So for the first time when the boys, the hair starts to grow on the cheeks of the boy, and also the mustache that develops, that comes, it grows. Then on an auspicious day, in the olden days, at that time they used to stay in Gurukula, so that the Guru, they used to invite the parents to attend the function, keeping an auspicious Muhurta. Nowadays, of course, mostly they are not at all doing, but in families now also they are following. Seeing an auspicious day, they first remove, the father guides the son to how to remove that hair that is grown on the cheeks, and then the mustache also. So after this process is over, the disciple must donate a milky cow along with the calf to Guru. So it is called as Godana Vrata Samskara. Because Kesha is removed, it is called as Keshanta Samskara. So, Evam Godanam Asmin Api Nakshetre Shodase Varshe, like that the mantra start. Thus the mantras and the procedure also is explained in many granthas, Shastra granthas. So now for Balika Samskara, 13th B, Devi Bhagavata says that though the entire Srishti creation was done by Brahmadeva, the Stri, the woman, is created by Jagannatha Adi Parasikti only. So among all the words that indicate woman, there are hundreds of names given for uttering, knowing Stri, women. Stri, Yoshi, Dabalanari, Yosha, Simantini, like that, hundreds of names are there. But Stri is the best word to speak about a lady, a girl, because Stri means Sa, Ta, Ra, E. 4 letters are there. And Sa represents Sattva Guna, Ta represents Tamo Guna, Ra, Rajo Guna. Then Im is the Bijakshara of Jagannatha. Jagannatha Bijakshara. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Gunas are considered to be the nature, Prakriti Mata, Prakriti, Trigunatmika. So to the power of the Prakriti, the nature, if the power of the divinity, divine mother goddess is added, that is woman. See how great is a woman. The word itself is great. So the word indicates Nama, Nami. The Nama indicates Nami, the women. So women are very great and embodiments of goddess Jagannatha Adi Parasikti. So this Im Bijakshara is added to Prakriti, that is 3. Such great women, they took 1/4 of the sin of Devendra, which he got by killing. This is a very big story, but in 1 or 2 lines, just I am telling. Devendra, he got sin at one time by killing Viswarupa. And the sin is seen in the form of this monthly dosha in the women. So for that, Devendra gave boon to women to be able to give birth to children and being honored as the mother. So for the first time when that is seen in girls, that would be celebrated with utmost care and also with most respect. And in that process, the health related customs are being, of course, we know all that process. Normally, I used to explain all that process also, but now, because lack of time, I'm not telling anyone. It is known by most of us. So I need not have to tell, I think. Then 14th is Veda Vratas. Veda Vratas are 4 Veda Vratas are there. Prajapatya Vrata, Saumya Vrata, Agneya Vrata, then Vaiswadeva Vrata. Vaiswadeva Archana is very important, and every human being, mostly every Brahmin, every day they are doing, whether they know it or not, they are doing. So this samskara, Veda Vrata, will be performed by the priest or Acharya. Guru, in the olden days at Gurukulas itself, the Guru used to celebrate to their Sishyas. After completing the normal study of all the Vedas, then these 4 Veda Vratas would be taught for 4 years, and then Samavartana Samskara would be performed, and Guru allows the Sishyas to go home and enter into Gurhasthasrama and start their own Gurukulas, becoming masters like that. So now these 4 vratas, for them, each vrata, vrata snataka is also to be done after completing 1 year. The starting worship is there, then the closing worship is there. According to Shastras, they must do this. So this Vaishwadeva means actually Visva is the name given to the inner soul, the Atma which is in us. Visvudu, they say Visva Taijasa Prajna. Like that, the I, the Jiva, is called as in Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti avasthas. So in the olden days at Gurukulas, the Acharyas used to allow Sishyas to go home after completing teaching all the human beings, what all human beings deserve to live happily in this world and gain the real knowledge by which they can get liberated. Now, Anchesti Samskara also I will tell in 5 minutes and complete. So, Antya means at the end. Ishti means Yajna. So, Antyesti is the last rite, the performed by the elder son along with his wife and along with his brothers, younger brothers and their wives, whoever are there, to either his father or his mother. So when they leave their bodies and go away, this Antyeshti Samskara is to be performed. This is the last rites done to the Jiva on this earth. So it is called as Aurthva Daihika Kratu Karma. These are Kratus, like Yajnas. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. So death is inevitable to everyone born on the earth. Our Shastras say that if Antyeshti Samskara is done as per Shastra, the Jiva, according to the fruits of his own deeds, whatever he did, he can travel easily and move and enter into other Devata Lokas or whatever may it be. But suppose the Antyeshti Samskara is not performed properly as per Shastra, the hindrances will come on the way of the journey of this Jiva to travel to either Yamaloka or Devendra Loka, whatever may the Lokas they have to go, or they have to take birth again, depending upon the fruits of the actions they did, maybe either as human being or any, even that becomes difficult. We know the story of Sagara Chakravarti's Kumara. So 60,000 people, they were burnt to ashes by the anger of Kapila Maharshi. So then all of them, they tried, did penance, and that penance could succeed in the Bhagiratha. Bhagiratha could get success, and then he brought Ganga Mata from heaven to earth, and he prayed Lord Shiva that Shiva alone can bear the flow, Uthruti of that Ganges Ganga. And again he prayed Ishvara and Ganga Mata then only one little water flow is left by the Jatajuta of Shiva from that. So that followed Bhagiratha, and because it washed all the 60,000 ash heaps, they could get liberated and then they could enter into Uttamaloka. So that is most important. Autvadaika karma should be done as per Shastra to the Jiva. Jivato Vakyakaranath Pratyabdhihi Puri Pojanat Gayayam Pindadanena Tripihi Putrasya Putrata, we say. So these three are the duties of a son. Putra means actually they say Putnama Naraka Trayata iti Putraha. There is a sort of Naraka. When the son performs these Orthodahika karmas, the Jiva need not have to enter into Naraka, can go directly, skipping that. That's how Shastra says. So, Jivato Vakya Karanat is most important. Following the words of mother and father when they are alive. That is the first and foremost important duty of the son of all children. Then, when parents leave the body, Autvadahika karmas must be done properly. Then, Gayayam Pindadanena. In life, at least once, the son along with wife must go there and keep Pinda Pradana. There at Badari also, they must keep. So these three are the duties of a son. When anyone leaves the body, then what is to be done and how is it to be done? All these are given clearly in Gruhya Sutras and also Granthas related to Apara Karmas. Particular books are there. And also they are given in Garpopanishad and Garuda Mahapurana also. Everyone born every person born undergoes Shadbhava Vikaras, we say. Asti Jayate Varthate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinasyati. So, slowly this process takes place. Just as a seed, it sprouts, then small plant, then it grows into tree, fruits, flowers would come, then slowly all the leaves would fall and the tree also becomes dry and dies. This is the nature. This is the very rule, custom of the nature. So it is inevitable. When inevitable incident occurs, we should never bother for that and should never worry. By our worry, we cannot change it. So when the parents leave the body and go away, it is the duty of sons to celebrate the Autvadehika karmas in proper manner and to donate on their names and to feed people with good, delicious, tasty and neat items of the food that is to be done by the children. So when Rabindranath Tagore, he said, when death comes and knocks at my door, I will set my guest with the vessel full of my life. That is how we also should be very ready. At any moment, Nityam Sannihito Mrityuh Kartavyo Dharma Sangrahaka. We must always be engaged in doing righteous deeds, then acquiring merit, punya, and ever ready to get moksha. While alive, we must gain knowledge by which we must lead the life like Jivan Mukta. So, okay, here we can stop. Then, in fact, this so many stories are there that I skip. If any, at any other time, if possible, I will try to tell. Okay, Swasti for today. Swasti Prajapyak Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanepya Sukhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Swasti. Shubham.
ధన్యవాద మహోదయ ధన్యవాదాः.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
And then we will go to Prarthana, madam, with your permission. Sir, Narasimhamurthy garu, Narasimhamurthy Mahodaya, start the session ending Prarthana.
ఒక నిమిషం అండి. ఓకే. ఒక నిమిషం. స్వస్తి ప్రజాభ్య परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीचाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्य पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति
सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु. ధన్యవాదాలు మహోదయ. And then Venugopal garu, I am requesting you to recite Janaganamana national anthem.
ధన్యవాద మహోదయ. जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाके तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. जय हिंद.
Jai Hind Mahodaya, ధన్యవాదాలు. And then, is there any doubts in the session?
No questions posted, madam.
Okay.